This is
Agon.
Hey everyone.
Howdy.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we've been doing this new game every week thing.
Yeah.
Do you like Greek mythology? Yeah, ever wanted to play a hero?
Yes and yes.
Do some like Child of God stuff?
Percy Jackson?
Agon!
What's that?
This is Percy Jackson. The tabletop, essentially. So,
I mean, you okay? I'll bite.
John Harper, Sean Nittner, Evil Hat. Yeah,
They make good stuff.
they do make good stuff. We got a couple other ones back there we're going to talk about soon. That wasn't important.
So, I would assume that means there's some similarities and maybe some mechanics that you might be familiar with in Blades in the Dark and some of those other games.
I would say it's very close to a Powered by the Apocalypse system.
So, yes.
That, City of Mist, games of that nature. Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of know a little bit about what you're getting into there.
Very straightforward. You and your team play these heroes. You're essentially lost in what is the Mediterranean, in this mist magical covered area that doesn't exist in reality.
Yeah, you have slipped through the veil in the Mediterranean and made it into the monster realms.
Yeah.
So now you're on this journey back out of the monster realms, and each island you explore has different challenges for the heroes.
These challenges are going to be handled in a very easy mechanic system. You grab some dice, your strife, which is essentially your GM, rolls these dice, sets the target number, player rolls against that target number, and if they meet or beat, it's a success.
Yeah, it's a dice pool system, so you could end up with 2d6s, a d8, a d10, a d12. Or you could end up with a d10 and a d12, and that's it. Just depends on which things you are applicable to what your role is at the time.
Important thing to know, and I just want to clarify this a little bit, depending on the player or the strife player, you're not going to be adding up all your dice. You're going to be adding up a specific number.
Yes.
And you can check that out in the rules.
Yeah.
The rules themselves, speaking of which, are incredibly easy, very simple to learn. The game is very fast. The book even says, hey, start playing, go over these rules as they show up. Eventually, throughout this experience, you'll master them, no problem.
Yep. If you have a question and it brings the table to the halt, come back to the book then. Otherwise, just go play, have fun, and check in between to make corrections.
If you've made it this far into the video, if you wouldn't mind giving us a like-a-roo, we'd appreciate that, and maybe even subscribe would be awesome. Also, our great friends over at City of Oak have officially launched their Kickstarter for Queerz, and we'll put that link down below and a fancy little image right here. So go check it out. The game's going to be fantastic. Creators of City of Mist, heavily influenced and a big game for the queer community. Be awesome if you could help support it.
Another one of the really cool aspects of this is they use what the crew had in City of Mist to some extent, and it's Powered by the Apocalypse system on the core, but it's the bond system, but this one does it in I would say a more applicable, more impactful way.
Yeah. So these bonds are basically a bond that you have with my buddy right there. Yeah. What's up? Or your buddy, because you can get it from your god. So when you use these bonds, you're going to be able to bolster your companion and help them in a contest by them giving you their name die, which you're going to add to your pool of dice as you're rolling. You can also use your buddy to help you block harm, and when you do that, nobody's going to take any type of damage.
Yes, which is so nice.
Yeah, and then this is going to filter into something that's got a really unique mechanic as well, and that's going to be the leadership.
The leadership's really cool. It's kind of the GM of the player side of the table in a way.
When we were talking about it earlier, I kind of looked at it like it's very much a chain of command.
Yes.
Because you're part of this crew, this ship that's set out, and I mean, you think of it, you're like the captain of the ship.
I'm the captain today.
I'm the captain now. Look at me.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
They're going to be the one that's doing like the heavy engagement with like the natives and stuff like that.
Yes.
So the reason we're bringing this up is because one of these bonds allows you to spend a bond to basically sway your leader into seeing things from your point of view. And it's really, really cool.
So if you ever have a disagreement with your leader, heaven forbid, but eventually this will come up. They took care of it and said, you know what? If you know you're right and you're right and you know you're right because you're always right and you know you're right because you're... Spend your bond.
What's up, dog?
Just be right.
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. And you're always right.
You can also call upon a bond of your god, which is cool, and it works the exact same way, but they're going to basically kind of manifest in a way, and they're going to help the situation out. On the bolstering, they give you their name die. So that's really the only thing that changes, D6 to D12.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then you've got your Divine Favor, which is basically calling on like the hardcore assistant. It's like the Hail Mary, I would say.
Yes.
You're like, please, God, blah, blah, I need you now, yada, yada, yada. Player adds a D4 to the overall total, which is neat. I love the idea that you were relying on like these powers that be from the great beyond, essentially, and from the heavens.
I would really like to play a role-play heavy version of this game.
It is heavy roleplay.
With the caveat that it's going to be a meat grinder. With a character burner. And every time you go out on a new adventure with these new characters, you come upon the wreckage of the ones that came before.
That would be cool.
Or you find their bodies, or they're turned to pigs on this island, and then you find the shield that dude had. Or you could do so much with that, and it would be so cool.
Speaking of world and progression, this game handles progression in a very unique way. You have glory, which is very much an XP system. You get ticks that you basically move up a chart, and as you progress this, your name die goes up at specific level.
It's very much the way that a cantrip would go up in D&D.
Everybody on the team is going to basically get glory. The glory is going to be distributed in a very easy way. The person that outrolled that target number that we mentioned earlier is going to get the most. Everybody else gets half. That's it. You also have fate in this game. Talk a little bit about that.
Fate is very interesting. When your fate fills up, that hero is done.
What is really, really cool about this, and that's why I wanted to touch on it, is even as your player your character starts to burn out, die, or get ready for retirement, they actually start to get stronger because you get boons that will make you tougher as a player.
Yes.
At the weaker and weaker essentially you get, which is cool because it's kind of like that, I got one more left in me, Sarge.
It's the hero's wall.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And speaking of that too, you can even have the heroic moment in this game to where I'm going to sacrifice my player, and no matter what the challenge is, it's an automatic success for the party.
Anytime you're in a situation where you would otherwise fail a challenge at any time, you can say, okay, I'm done with this character. We succeed on this challenge, everybody else go on without me.
Very cliche. I got this. And these are some of the reasons why we think Agon is super cool. It's very unique. It is very simple. We hope that you all give it, a check out this game. Download the PDF. It's not expensive. The book isn't even that expensive. I think it's like maybe $20. And on that note, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. We're really trying to get this thing to grow. It would mean the world to us.
Links down below.
Yep, links down below. Until next time, stay awesome, be excellent, and love each other. Peace.